Hello everyone, welcome to the Insta Live. How many St. Kitts and Nevis fans do we have right here? I think we are waiting for our fans to join in, and while we do, today we're going to chat with Ish Sodhi, and we're going to have half an hour. I'm going to take some of your questions. We're going to talk through some of his early career. We're going to talk about some of his exploits in the T20 field, and of course, what can we expect when Ish Sodhi plays for the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots. So good to see five of you who have joined: Sameem, Pareen, Sunny Rai. Hello to everyone. Thanks for coming in. Any questions? Folks, my name is Kartik. I'm your host today. I'm going to be speaking with Ish Sodhi, and let's try to understand what kind of questions do you people have. Are there any questions that you want to ask Ish Sodhi? So we have one interesting fact about Ish Sodhi is that he was in fact the ICC #1 ranked player in 2018, and that of course was also the season where he played the CPL first. He played the CPL as a replacement for Adam Zampa, and in the two matches that he played in 2018, which was against the Guyana Amazon Warriors and the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots, interestingly, he's managed to take 4 wickets at a strike rate of about a wicket every 18 balls, which is actually pretty good. So that's a little bit of stats about our hometown boy, or as we call it, St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots, Ish Sodhi. So we're waiting for Ish Sodhi to join in, and then we're going to chat. Sunny Rai says, "Hello sir, big fan from India." Hey, funny, that's nice to know. Who is your most favorite St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots player, Sunny? Who are you looking forward to for this year's CPL in terms of watching, in terms of fandom? Hello Santosh, hello Win. Nice to see. Okay, Ish Sodhi has just joined in, so let's try to get him. So we're just having Ish Sodhi join in. He's connecting and he should be live in a minute. Hello Ish, how are you doing?
Hey Kartik, how are you, mate?
I'm fine, Ish. What about you?
Yeah, very well, thank you. It's very cold at the moment in Christchurch, so looking forward to the CPL.
Looking forward to all the sun in the Caribbean?
Oh, absolutely, man. Really looking forward to it. It's been a very cold winter and just really excited to play some cricket again.
Right. And I can see that you're glowing. Is it also because of the fact that you are now a father to a beautiful girl?
I'm the first, mate. You're the first person to say I'm glowing. Everyone else is saying I look very tired and sleep deprived.
No, I can see the smile, and that's why I was trying to connect that.
Yeah, no, it's been a really exciting time for us. We've just welcomed our first child, a little daughter called Dahlia. She's about 5 weeks old now, so yeah, it's been a really special time. Obviously, going to make it a lot harder to leave, but yeah, it'll be fun to play some cricket, and hopefully she can watch on the telly.
Right. So in these 5-6 months, where the world is, it's a tough time outside. How have you been keeping yourself mentally? Hey,
Hey,
Ish,
sorry,
did you
mate. You
hear
just
the
went
question?
missing there. I kind
Okay.
of did. I think it was around the coast and what it was like for the past few months, right?
Right.
Um, yeah. Look. It's been a really unique time. At the start of our winter, expecting to go over to India, initially to be part of the IPL. Having that changed, I think, firstly was a realization that it would be a long time before we had any other cricket to either play or be a part of or anything like that. So it has been quite a tough time. I think usually in the past couple of years, I've played in different leagues around the world during the winter, and so it's kept us, really enjoying that winter period, getting away from the cold, playing cricket, playing lots of games, and then coming back and playing our home summer. So it's been a unique situation. One that's included a lot of strength and conditioning, just to get a good base for the season coming up, and also having baby, becoming parents for the first time has kept us pretty busy as well. So it's been a nice distraction away from cricket, if I'm honest. Having some other priorities in your life, which has been great. And but now we're just looking forward to crack on to get back into playing cricket. Obviously, it's going to be slightly different with COVID and how it's played out, but we're really excited.
Right, right. The last time you played the CPL was in 2018, and you were coming back with great form because in 2018 January you were the number one ranked T20I bowler, and you took that form into the CPL. How different was your preparation then, and how different will your preparation be now, given that it's been 2 years since you played that?
Yeah, it's a big difference. I came off. I remember, and that's the first time I came to CPL. I only came and played 2 matches towards the back end as a replacement player for Jamaica. I actually played in the IPL, and then I played in Vitality Blast for Nottingham. Straight after that, I went to the CPL. So I had a lot of cricket behind me. So I guess when you're playing a lot of cricket, you feel reasonably confident. You go into it being well prepared because you've had a lot of matches under your belt. So this is really unique for me, coming straight out of a winter and going into competition. And so the prep when we get over there, I think, is going to be really important. Whether we get a week, maybe 10 days to train as a group, to get outside, be in those hot conditions, acclimatise, it's going to be really important because the preparation has been different. But I guess the world that we live in at the moment dictates that. So that's something that everyone else is going to have to get used to as well.
Right. Getting to the CPL, you're going to be playing your games at Trinidad and Tobago, mostly the Queen's Park Oval and the Brian Lara Stadium. So runs aren't scored so easily there as opposed to if you were, let's say, playing your games at Warner Park, which is like an abattoir for spin bowlers because of the runs that are scored. So any expectations as such while playing at Trinidad, your games here?
Well, I guess the way that the cricket's played in the Caribbean is a really aggressive type of cricket, aggressive brand of cricket. So I guess being a spinner, you have to meet that aggression with aggression. You've got to go in and look to take wickets, knowing that the batsmen love scoring boundaries. It's a kind of calypso type of flavour that especially the Caribbean players play with. They love hitting boundaries. So meeting that aggression with aggression is important. I'm not too sure if the games are going to be during the day, but if there are only 2 grounds, I assume the wickets will perhaps towards the back end of the tournament become a little bit slower. It's almost inevitable. And so, if the wickets do start slowing up, I guess your role becomes a little bit more of an aggressive role. So it's important to be adapting to each and every condition you're faced with. But I'm really excited to play at Trinidad. I've never played a 2020 match there. I think early on I played a test match and the wicket did spin. So during the day, I'm not sure what the spin conditions will be like and if they're spin friendly or not. But I know during the evenings it gets pretty dewy. So fingers crossed we play a lot of day games.
Right. One thing we've seen usually in terms of a leg spinner pairing with a left-arm Chinaman bowler. In India, we've seen that with Chahal and Kuldeep and the famous Kulcha combination with respect to this combination of bowlers. In the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots, as you must be knowing, they've signed up Dennis Bulai, who is from Jamaica, who's a young Chinaman bowler. Do you relish at the prospect of bowling in pairs with respect to leg spin Chinaman together? What do you think is the role of such pairs in T20?
Well, I guess in my experience, one, I love spin bowlers. I love spin bowling. That's the number one. It's my favorite aspect of the game. Obviously, because I do it as well. It's the one that I'm most passionate about. I really enjoy watching spin done different ways. A Chinaman, obviously, like Bulai, is going to be really exciting to work with in the nets first and foremost, understand what kind of bowler he is, and see how we can build a bit of a pairing. I know playing for New Zealand, I've had a lot of games where I've played with Mitchell Satner, who's one of the highest quality left-arm spin bowlers in the world at the moment when it comes to white ball cricket. So it's a really important pairing, I think, having 2 spinners in the middle of innings, especially on wickets that might offer a little bit of spin. I think the biggest thing identifying is whether you're going to be the aggressive spinner or you're going to be the defensive spinner, because most of the time one of you need to play one of those roles each. Very rarely, I think, can you play 2 spinners through the middle that are continuously trying to take wickets in T20 cricket. So acknowledging what that role is really important, and understanding that comes from training. So I'm really looking forward to training with him and understanding what type of bowler he is.
Right. Now that one other thing with the big T20 tournament is that you also get to meet a lot of other cricketers who are playing the same art as what you're doing. And I remember you had once made a post during your time at the IPL where I think you said that Imran Tahir was teaching you a couple of tricks at about midnight with his kid next to you. So, going back, is there any spinner that you're looking forward to meet in the CPL?
I can't wait to speak to Rashid Khan again. I've spoken to him quite a few times, in some social situations for 5 or so minutes at a time. I had a couple of messages with him earlier on in the winter, just discussing a few things about leg spin. So, at the moment in the world, Rashid Khan is number one in the world. He's not just the best spin bowler, he is the best bowler in the world. And so if I can kind of get in his ear, understand a few things that he does, and try to implement maybe one or two into those into my game, I think it's really important for my development going forward, mixing with some of the best in the world, understanding what makes them so good. Considering, I've played a fair bit of cricket, but I'm only 27 years old, so I still feel like I've got, quite a bit of time on my side. And the more that I can learn now and the more I can improve on, I think I can use later on in my career.
Right. While some of the comments are coming below, a lot of them seem to be having a lot of admiration for your mush. So that's so yeah. I think while you mentioned this point about Rashid Khan, I was just looking at some numbers, and Rashid Khan has an average runs per over less than about 7, and then a strike rate of about 15, a wicket every 15 balls. Now that is like gold numbers. And at your best, which was I think around 2016-17, you had a strike rate of a wicket every 12 balls. And
Hmm.
now over the last, I think, couple of years, it's gone down to about 19-20, a wicket every 19-20 balls. So have you done anything different? Have you experimented anything in the last couple of years?
Maybe that's a reflection of playing on wickets, especially in New Zealand, I think, where the wickets probably don't offer as much spin. And then maybe because of that, playing on those small grounds, as a default, sometimes you bowl a slightly more defensive length. Um, and that might be an indication of why those numbers have become so. Obviously, 12 balls for a wicket is really, really good. That means you're getting 2 wickets per match. And that's definitely something I aspire to keep, improving on. And I think if I can go back to that aggressive mindset as much as I can, and because naturally for me, I think I enjoy that aggressive role through the middle of the innings. I think it's recognizing that role and trying to play it as best as I can. And that's why it's important, I think, to meet the team, understand what their criteria is moving forward, and then maybe we can start being aggressive through the middle, bringing that strike rate back down to something like 16, 17, 18. Maybe 12 is a little bit unrealistic because it's such a high aim to get to, and I think if I play that aggressive role, then naturally it should come down anyway.
Right. And as a bowler who's, you primarily bowl in the middle overs. Now, do you feel that bowling at, in the beginning or bowling at the end is something that you want to, also specialize in? Like, I see that batsmen tend to attack you lesser out of some of the bowlers that I did as an analysis at the depth. So, is there some skill set that you specifically want to hone coming into the CPL?
I would love to bowl to death. I guess the chance of getting hit for boundaries is higher, but also the chance of getting wickets is higher as well. I think that's a skill that I would love to improve on, but still, I think the most value a spinner can add to a team is getting wickets through the middle period. Especially in the power play, you have some bowlers that are really adept at, bowling in the power play, and I think most of them are slightly shorter in stature that can hit the stumps quite often. But the thing with me is I bowl from such a big height. A lot of the time, I can bounce the ball over the stumps. So keeping the stumps in play, I think, in the power play is really important. Where I think in the back, when the batsmen are trying to attack you, bounce can often, find it hard for batsmen to get that elevation. So that's important. But the more wickets you can get through the middle of the innings, makes it harder for the teams to score in the back end. And I think if you can do that through the middle as a leg spinner or any spinner for that matter, it makes the job for the death bowlers a lot easier. And that's definitely, in my head, the best way to go about it for a spin bowler.
Right, right, right. And now that you're going to the Caribbean, I've seen some of your earlier posts chilling in Barbados, where you have a couple of pictures on Instagram. Given that we're in quarantine, and let's say you had a task where you're quarantined on any of these Caribbean islands, which Caribbean island would you want to quarantine yourself for 14 days?
Oh, that's a tough one. There are some beautiful islands in the Caribbean, and any one of them I think will be ideal. But if I had to pick one, it would definitely be Barbados. Really, really love Barbados. Had a great time there when I was younger. People were really, really friendly, so that'll be quite cool. Also, I know I've got a few good friends,
Right,
that I've made across teams. Likes of Chris Jordan, who plays
right,
for England, Jofra. So they're all really good guys.
right. I'm just going to go back a little bit in time, moving from the West Indies slightly eastwards to UK, where now cricket is resumed. Not too long ago, which is July 14th, part of the World Cup final, other than let's say July 10th and July 14th. Okay, between Martin Guptill's throw that ended Dhoni's run, and between the throw from the deep that also ended Martin Guptill's run out, you must have gone through a huge, bevy of emotions. Could you walk us through that?
Yeah, look, if I walked you through those emotions, it might take a little bit longer than the time that we have tonight. But um, I
We'll
think
take
I
it.
think the world,
I said
yeah,
we'll take
I think,
it.
yeah. Look, the World Cup, I think as a whole, first and foremost, was a phenomenal experience. Even though I didn't get to play a huge amount of games, I played one game. Firstly, that match against India, a one day that went 2 days, so that was very unique about it. We batted first. I think the batsman out in the middle assessed the conditions and thought 240, 250 would actually be a really good score on that wicket. And then the next day we came through, finished our innings off, and the way that Matt Henry and Trent Bolt bowled at the top of the innings really set it up for us. I think we ended up having them 5 down for 23 runs. But as always happens, I think when it comes with Indian cricket, MS Dhoni comes to the crease. This stage he was supported by Ravi Jadeja, who played a phenomenal innings. And if it wasn't for a wonderful spell through the middle by Mitchell Satner, I think they would have probably ended up winning the game. I think Sat would have gone for 30 runs off his 10 overs through the middle against a very good batting lineup that are very adept at playing spin. MS Dhoni got them really close. I think there was a time when he hit a cut shot for six off Lockie Ferguson. We thought it was going to get really close, and then Martin Guptill being able to throw that ball from the boundary, hit the stumps as hard as he did, was a huge moment in the World Cup. Was a huge moment in that match. Took us to the World Cup final, which we speak about quite often. I think most interviews we've had recently, it gets brought up. At the time, it was a really, I guess, tough pill to swallow. Didn't lose the game. We tied the match, but lost on a boundary count. Everyone knows what those emotions are like. But I think the more that we think about it as a collective, the more that I think about it, I'm really proud to have been part of that squad. To get so close and not win, it was pretty cruel by the end of it. But now we sit back and really enjoy the fact that we took them to the absolute final hurdle, and unfortunately, because of a boundary count, came out on the other side.
Right. Thanks for that answer. We've negotiated the middle overs very well. We'll get to the death overs, which is the final question. Now that
Yeah.
you're PL and you're looking forward to playing there, if you were to pick a CPL 11, let's say you were a team owner and you were to pick 11 of your favorite players who played in the CPL, who would you go ahead with?
Wow, that's it's a very interesting question. I think firstly I would have to look at maybe two or three shoo-ins. I think Andre Russell makes that team every time. He'd probably bat at 5 and come up and down the order, whatever's required. Rashid Khan will be my main strike bowler. I think opening the batting, I'd have someone like Chris Lynn, someone with a lot of power. If I'm allowed 5 overseas players, I think Chris Lynn, Rashid Khan. I'd almost have to go with maybe even done really well for that team. Number 3, be very, very biased, not to say Kane Williamson. 3, Three lads, Aussies, Kiwis. I don't know if Brad Hodge played in the CPL.
Brad Hodge, I think it's a long. I don't quite remember, but I remember he was a T20 specialist back in 2007 and 8.
Yeah. So I always think of him. I almost feel like he should be in there, and he'd probably be my captain. So that's my top 5 done. I'd have to have a number 6, who would probably be someone like. Oh no, what am I talking about? Sorry, Chris Gale opens the batting. Chris Lynn, Chris Gale open the batting. Those two. Number 3 maybe Kane Williamson. Number 4 can be Brad Hodge. Then Andre. Number 6, we need a spinning all rounder. Maybe Shakib Al Hassan.
But
We
wait
can
a
go
second.
into number.
Assuming you only have four overseas players, you need to have 7 Caribbean players. So you're going down past that limit. So let's assume you've already got your overseas players.
Yes. Okay. No, I see what you're saying. Okay. Sorry about this. Let's start this again. We've got 4 overseas players. That's all we're allowed.
Right.
Rashid Khan, Chris Lynn.
2.
I'm gonna have Brad Hodge,
Okay.
and we'll try to get a fast bowler in there. Maybe Tim Southey.
Okay.
Those
That's
4.
Okay.
And then we've got the Caribbean players: Chris Gale, Andre Russell, 100%. Chadwick Walton. Then we've got Rovman Powell. We need a fast bowler. O'Shane Thomas, 5. 2 more. We need Rakeem Cornwall.
Okay. That's 6.
Yep.
That's big and heavy. You have 6.
And Sunil Narayan. Done.
Sorry, yeah. I was actually thinking, why were you missing him out? But yes, we've now completed the team.
Yeah.
A very interesting chat. Thanks for your time, Ish. And looking forward to seeing you do very well for the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots. It's a team against which you've bowled in the CPL. I think you took 3 wickets against the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots.
Oh, yeah, must have been. That was my last game, I think, for Jamaica. Unfortunately, it didn't get through.
Right. I know those games, it was the eliminator, which you as part of Jamaica lost. But here's looking forward that you have a bumper season at the CPL, and then right after that with the IPL. So yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks.
Cool.
It was great on the show.
Thanks, man. Take care.
See you. Bye.